One of the biggest dreams in Kenya is building a house. For many people, it's the ultimate symbol of success. You hear it all the time. Amejenga, he has his own place. He has made it. And honestly, it's easy to understand why. A house represents years of sacrifice, years of saving, years of hard work. For some people, it's the single biggest financial achievement of their lives. But I've noticed something interesting. Sometimes, the day someone builds a house is also the day their ambition quietly begins to change. The hunger that drove them for years starts to fade. The urgency disappears. The risks become less appealing. Not for everyone, but for some people. And it raises an uncomfortable question. Can success sometimes make people too comfortable? Or is something deeper happening? That's what we're exploring today. Part 1. Why building a house means so much in Kenya. A house is rarely just a house. In Kenya, building a home often means much more. It means security, respect, achievement, means stability, and independence. For many families, it's the visible proof that years of struggle were worth it. In conversations, people often ask, has he built? Not, is he financially free? Not, does he own productive assets? Not, is he wealthy? The house becomes the scorecard. And because of that, many people spend years chasing it, sometimes decades. The house becomes the destination, the thing that finally proves, I've made it. Part 2. The psychology of arrival. Human beings are surprisingly bad at thinking about what comes after success. Most people spend their lives focused on reaching goals. Get the degree, get the job, buy the car, build the house, reach the milestone. But very few people think about what happens after they arrive. Psychologists sometimes call this the arrival fallacy. The belief that reaching a goal will permanently satisfy us, that life will somehow feel complete. But reality is usually different. The excitement fades, the achievement becomes normal, and suddenly a person is faced with a question they never prepared for. Now what? Part 3. When security changes behavior. This is where things get interesting. Building a house changes something powerful. It changes a person's relationship with risk. Think about it. Before the house, someone may feel, I need to keep pushing. I need to earn more. I need to create something. There is pressure. There is urgency. But after the house, that pressure often decreases. And in many ways, that's healthy. After all, isn't that what security is supposed to do? The problem comes when security quietly turns into stagnation. When someone begins protecting their comfort more than pursuing growth. Not because they're lazy, because they finally have something to lose. And that changes behavior. Part 4. The house can become a launch pad. This is where I disagree with the idea that houses automatically make people complacent. In theory, a house should actually make you more capable of taking risks. Think about it. If your housing situation is secure, you're under less pressure. Your expenses may be more predictable. Your family is more stable. Your foundation is stronger. That security should create freedom. Freedom to start a business. Freedom to invest. Freedom to try something ambitious. Freedom to think long-term. The house should be a platform, not a finish line. And that's the difference between two people who build the exact same home. One becomes more comfortable, the other becomes more confident. Part 5. The danger of defining success too narrowly. This may be the real issue. Not the house itself, the definition of success. If success is defined as build a house, then what happens when the house is finished? The mission is complete. The scoreboard says you won. The problem is that life keeps moving. And many people find themselves feeling strangely lost after achieving the thing they spent years chasing, not because the goal was wrong, but because they never built a vision beyond it. Part 6. The Kenyan reality. This conversation is especially interesting in Kenya because owning a home carries enormous social meaning. People admire it, families celebrate it, communities respect it, and rightfully so. Building a home is not easy, but sometimes the social recognition becomes so powerful that people unconsciously stop asking, what's next? The applause arrives, the validation arrives, the proof arrives, and growth quietly slows down, not because opportunities disappeared, but because the psychological need to keep pushing changed. Part 7. What the house was supposed to give you. Maybe we've been thinking about this the wrong way. Maybe the goal of a house was never to end ambition. Maybe it was supposed to reduce fear. Maybe it was supposed to give you a stronger foundation from which to build the next chapter of your life. Because security and growth don't have to compete. In fact, when used correctly, security can make growth easier. The strongest people often see major milestones differently. They don't ask, "Have I arrived?" They ask, "What can I build from here?" Maybe the problem isn't that people stop growing after building a house. Maybe the problem is that many people spend years planning how to achieve a goal without ever thinking about what comes after it. A house can provide peace. It can provide stability. It can provide security. But it should never become the end of your story. Because the day you build the house isn't the end. It's simply the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. This channel explores the psychology of money, wealth, and financial behavior in Kenya. If you enjoy conversations like this, subscribe for more weekly videos. And let me ask you, do you think owning a house makes people more ambitious or more comfortable? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.